Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, The Late Night Cat Party. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. After a long day at work, I finally dragged myself home much later than usual. The streets were quiet, the night was still, and I expected my little apartment to be buzzing with chaos the way it usually was. But when I opened the door, I was greeted with a strange silence. For a moment, I thought something was wrong. No meows of protest demanding dinner. No little paws running across the floor like tiny thunderbolts. No furniture mysteriously shaking. It was almost suspicious. Then I saw them. My cats, the majority of them, were sprawled all over the place in the most ridiculous sleeping positions known to humankind. One was upside down on the couch with his belly proudly on display. Another had taken over my pillow like a royalty claiming their throne, and one particularly chubby fellow had plopped himself right in the middle of the hallway like an immovable furry rock. I couldn't help but laugh. It was like coming home to a cat dormitory after bedtime. Apparently, my late arrival had ruined their usual schedule, and they had collectively decided, well, if the human doesn't come home on time, we might as well sleep. Not all of them, however, had surrendered to dreamland. A few loyal, or perhaps mischievous, cats had stayed awake, waiting for me. As soon as I stepped further into the room, the insomniac squad gathered around me like a secret welcoming committee. Their eyes were wide and glimmering in the dim light, tails flicking as if they had been plotting something all night. One of them meowed in a tone that I could only interpret as, "You're late, human. Care to explain yourself?" Another rubbed against my legs so insistently that I almost tripped, clearly demanding overdue cuddles. And then there was the smallest one, who leaped onto my shoulder without hesitation, as if to say, "Fine, you may be late, but at least you're finally here." I had to laugh at their persistence. Despite the long workday and my exhaustion, their energy was contagious. While the others were dreaming of tuna or chasing invisible butterflies in their sleep, this little gang had decided to stay up just to keep me company. Whether that was out of love or sheer mischief, I couldn't really tell, but either way, it worked. So there I was, still in my work clothes, sitting cross-legged on the floor at nearly midnight, surrounded by a few enthusiastic cats. One pawed at my shoelaces like it was the most fascinating toy in the world. Another tried to chase her own tail, failing miserably, but looking adorably determined. The one on my shoulder purred like a tiny motor engine, clearly proud of his chosen perch. I couldn't stop smiling. The whole scene felt like an exclusive after-hours party, just for us. I tossed a little ball across the room, and the cats pounced on it like professional athletes, except with way more fluff and way less coordination. My exhaustion melted away, replaced with a strange sense of peace. It didn't matter that most of them were asleep or that I had worked longer than I wanted. What mattered was this moment of joy. Eventually, one by one, the awake cats began to yawn, their little bodies growing heavier as they curled up next to me. The purring slowed, the room grew quieter, and soon I found myself sitting in a warm pile of sleeping cats. I realized then that no matter how late I came home, no matter how tired I felt, These little creatures always made life brighter. And maybe, just maybe, they forgave me for being late. After all, I was finally there, exactly where I belonged. After a long and exhausting workday, it is easy to feel drained and disconnected, especially when arriving home late. The story of coming home to a mix of sleeping cats and a few playful companions mirrors the balance we all need in modern life. Rest and renewal on one hand, and connection and joy on the other. The sleeping cats remind us that it is perfectly fine, and even necessary, to pause, recharge, and honor our body's need for rest. The awake cats, however, symbolize the relationships and small sparks of happiness that keep us motivated, even when we feel tired. In today's fast-paced world, many people push themselves endlessly with deadlines, responsibilities, and digital distractions, forgetting to make time for genuine connections. Yet, those little moments of joy, whether playing with pets, talking with family, or sharing laughter with friends, can transform stress into comfort. The advice here is simple. Don't let work consume all of your energy. Learn to prioritize both rest and meaningful connections. Even if you arrive home late, dedicating a few minutes to bond with loved ones, whether human or furry, can create balance, reduce stress, and remind you of what truly matters in life.